I've been watching you. Just come to me.
To start off today's look, we're going to be mapping out some of the areas where the gelatin is going to go. This step is optional, but I pretty much always map out all my looks with an eye pencil beforehand, just so I can get a better idea of where I'm going to place the gel. So today we're going to be using this Ben Nye Flesh Effects Gel in Clear. This is the way that I use it. I put it into a cup that has hot water in it. It comes as a solid, and then once it's heated up, it turns into a liquidy substance, a gelatin-like substance that you can utilize just like this. This is the primary piece of the look because it gives that face enough texture to really make it look nice and bumpy, just like Freddie Krueger's face. I mean, you could essentially just take this and place it all over your face, not in specific shapes or patterns, and still probably get the same effect, but I wanted to be very specific in how I placed the gelatin down so that there were lots of little divots and circles just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Keep in mind that this gel will actually turn back to a solid once it is dry, so you do have to work pretty quickly, and you might need to reheat up that water as well. So make sure you get your neck just as you are with your face, just so it looks a lot more cohesive and matches with the look. So next we're going to go in and just a little bit of painting on the chest piece. You could wear a shirt if you have one. I didn't have one, so I just quickly painted something using Mehron Paradise paints. I used a reference picture just to see what his shirt looked like. I had some rips on the neckline, so that's what we're drawing here. I am doing a light layer now just to map everything out, but I do go back later and do several layers on top just to make sure that it's not opaque and that the color is a little bit deeper. So I'm just filling in all the lines of where the stripes are. I use 3 different shades of Mehron Paradise paints. I use the black, I use an olive, which you'll see in a sec, and then this red berry. I also use clown white later, but you'll see that when we go back to the face. We're going to come back to the shirt later, but next we're going to go back to the face now that the gelatin has now dried. I'm just using a stippling sponge to go over all of the work that I have done just to give it even more texture and a little bit more dimension. This step is totally optional because it's already going to have quite a bit of dimension, but I wanted to make it look a little bit more dimension. So here we are putting on foundation. I only did this because the gelatin that I got is the clear kind. You can get the flesh colored ones that you don't have to do this, but I wanted to do the whole look with foundation just so it made it look a little bit more cohesive. Additionally, to make sure that it wasn't as shiny, I went over with this translucent powder from RCMA, and I just patted it all over the face. Next, we're going to use this Bruise and Abrasion wheel. This is where the details of the look really come together. I started with a lighter red shade from that wheel, and I'm just really placing these inside of all of the little crevices on the face. We're going to be basically creating more dimension by putting on the red, then a little bit darker of a red, and then we're going to be doing some shading, just so we really get that dimension of the whole face and it isn't super flat. So I'll let you watch, but basically I'm just placing that shade from the Bruise Abrasion wheel all throughout all the little crevices. Once you're done placing down that red shade in all the crevices on the face and the neck, you're going to go in with a darker shade from that wheel. And this color is not going to go over the entire area where you put the red. This is just going to go in the spaces where a shadow would naturally hit, and this is going to make it look as though each of the crevices are even deeper than they really are. So for the most part, you'll see me using the shades really in the upper corner of all of the little crevices. And again, I'm going to let you just go ahead and watch and see where I place all of those darker shades. I think that's the best way to learn for this particular step.
watching you. Just come to me.
Once you feel as though the look has enough dimension, you're going to go ahead and do some highlighting. We did all of the shading here to create those effects. Now we're going to do some highlighting. I'm using the Mehron Clown paint. This is just a cream-based paint. And I'm placing it on the highest points, not inside of the little divots, but on the outside to make it look as though those are being hit by the natural light. So I'm just putting it on and tapping it on my finger just to diffuse it a little bit so it's not super starky white. Freddie doesn't really have anything crazy on his eyes, so I just went in with 2 shades from Melt Cosmetics. This is Rott and Dark Matter, and I'm just really brushing this across the eyes. I use these shades also back on the chest piece, on the shirt, but for the most part, I just wanted to make the eyes look a little bit more dirty and smoky, but no actual eye look. I'm just adding some more shading to the shirt. There really wasn't much I wanted to do for the shirt because I wanted the focal point to be his face. So all I'm doing is just adding some of those eyeshadows with an eyeshadow brush and just really placing that all around the neck just to give the shirt a little bit more dimension. Now using some black Paradise paint from Mehron, I'm just really defining the edges of the shirt, but you can feel free to use an eyeliner, a black eyeliner, if that is what you have available. Either way, that's going to be great for the look. So this is the final look, you guys. I hope you like how it came out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.